Today is a day of celebration for me. January 8th, 2024, I underwent a 6-hour open heart surgery to repair my superior vena cava, to reconstruct it, because it had been completely occluded for over 2 years, which means it was completely closed, and there was no blood flow, no adequate blood flow going to my heart. I made a few videos last year on this date explaining exactly how I entered into that type of situation. And today, the main thing that I would like to communicate in celebration of this day is how grateful I am for my life, how much gratitude I have that I am living today. When I underwent my surgery afterwards, I was told by many physicians, nurses, and even people who didn't know my case intimately but had heard of it, that it was impossible for someone to live without blood flow through their superior vena cava going to their heart. I was told that. Yet here I am 2 years later, alive and making this video. And so I've been asked so many times, like, how did I get so lucky? How did that happen? Well, it was not like a straightforward thing. I had to advocate for myself, and I was relentless on advocating for myself that something was not right in my body. And so to care providers, anyone who is in the position of taking care of people, doctors, nurses, therapists, whatever, if you say that you are someone who is responsible for taking care of others, one of the most important things you have to do is listen to them. I was not listened to. I went to repeated specialists at one of the top hospitals in this country, is where I was being treated, and I said, something is not right in my body. I'm having these symptoms. This is what's happening. This isn't normal. This isn't typical. I did my best to listen to my body, and I kept pushing. When I was dismissed, I kept pushing. When I was treated as if I was a drug seeker, I kept pushing. When I was treated as if I was being dramatic, I kept pushing. When I was told that the symptoms I was experiencing did not make sense, I continued to push and advocate for myself. So, because of that, eventually someone listened. Someone went into the medical records and pulled up what was there the whole time. What would have been seen if someone would have paid attention the whole time. And that it landed me in an emergency situation to have my superior vena cava reconstructed. So that's the first point that I want to make, the importance of listening when someone says something isn't going right with my body, and you are a person who I am paying to help, because we don't go to doctors for free in this country. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I wanted to speak on, which is very, very, very important in my life, is my spiritual practice, my lifestyle. As many of you know, I am an Iyanifa. I am a person who follows the lifestyle of Isheshe, the tradition of Isheshe, which is West African, coming from what we now know as Nigeria, the Yoruba. This is a part of my ancestry. So I'm not straying away from anything that is in my blood, that is in my bloodline. It is a part of my bloodline. And so, as a way for me to heal and honor my ancestors and honor my life, this is a practice that I started many years ago, which was introduced to me originally by my father. And so I say that to say the importance for those out there who have a spiritual practice, whatever your spiritual practice may be, you cannot divorce the way that you live and your faith and what you believe in from your health care. It was something that I learned through this experience before I could verify what was going on inside of my body. Every time that I received divination, it spoke about what was happening in my body and gave me instruction on what to do to maintain my longevity, to keep myself alive. And at one point, I even questioned and said, Why do I keep getting messages that something as serious as death is happening to me and I have to do all of this additional work? Like, what's going on? And I remember my elder said to me, we're going to do the work. We're just going to do the work. We don't have the answers right now, but it will come to light and we are going to do the work. And I did it. I did that work. And because of that, working hand in hand with my own Ori, my own mind, knowing that something wasn't right and continuing to do the spiritual work, eventually the door started to open so that this thing could come to light and that I could get the help that I needed. It is literally what kept me alive for 2 years. Listening to my body, doing my spiritual work, following the instructions of Ifa for my life is literally what kept me alive. The third thing that I want to speak on is the importance of celebrating life. And that's where I am today. I am so grateful for my life today. Since that time, I just think of the last 2 years and all of the joy that I've had, all of the many times that I have smiled, all of the many times that all the grandbabies, I done had some grandbabies since then, y'all. All of the many times that I have smiled, all of the many times that I have experienced love and joy and sweetness and kindness, not only being given to me, but for me to be able to give it, for me to be able to say, I'm alive and I'm here. I'm in this position to love this person, to help this person, to do what I can. And so life has been good to me. Sometimes we spend so much time dwelling on what's going wrong, what's happening in society, who's being hurt. We don't spend enough time with the joy of life, with the things that are going right in our life, with the things that are bringing happiness to us, with the things that are growing us, with the things, the lessons that come to us that actually help us, that we might frown upon when they first come, but then they bring a lesson to us that is an irreplaceable lesson, that if we didn't go through what we went through at the time, we wouldn't be able to live in that wisdom that we now walk with. So that is the third thing that I want to speak on in this video. And I'm going to make another one later on today and just speak a little bit about the process since my surgery of some of the things that have happened with my body that I still struggle with. Because if anyone out there is going through something like having a major surgery, like an open heart surgery, you don't just bounce back the next day. Because of what happened in my body, it left residual effects and other things and created other things that I still work with today. I'm not going to say struggle because I believe in balance. So on the other side of this, there's always goodness. And so that is what I would like to say this morning on this date. Again, the 2-year anniversary of my Superior Vena Cava reconstruction surgery after having an occluded, which means a completely closed Superior Vena Cava for over 2 years. Thank you so much for watching. Please share.